In the last week, we just began 13th chapter, the next section, after completing the previous section about the process of creation, starting from chapter 5 to chapter 12. We have been discussing about various uh, types of creations, creation by various personalities such as Lord Vishnu, Garbhodaka, Vishnu, Brahma, Prajapati, etc. etc. So all that has been presented in the previous section. Now, in the next section, a wonderful topic is presented. So, if you remember in the beginning, I'm not sure whether it is there in the beginning of this chapter. Yeah, if you see, Canto 3, starting from chapter 5 to chapter 33, talks about the process and the purpose of the material creation. There are two subjects. What is the process of creation? What is the purpose of creation? So, especially from chapter 5 to chapter 11 and 12, till then, the process of creation has been described very elaborately. And also, there is some whatever is missing that will be again repeated in chapter 20. That is there. But now, starting from 13th chapter to few chapters 13, 14, 15, 16, there is a wonderful description, a beautiful connection. So, this material world has been created for two purposes. One is to provide a facility for the jiva to exercise their free will by taking birth at different places and exercising their free will in different ways. Sometimes as human beings, sometimes as animals, sometimes as devatas, super devatas, rishis, etc. And once everything is done, they need to wind up their activities here and then return back to their original position. Now, there are two things. Return back to their original position. So, two things are how to return back and where to go back. They are the two things. And now, in this section, starting from chapter 13 to in this section where the pastimes of Lord Varaha are described, as part of that, in two chapters, there's a beautiful description of Vaikuntha. So, from that point of view, Canto 3 indicates that by practicing bhakti, ultimately one will go to this place which is known as Vaikuntha, which is the abode of Lord Vishnu and his associates. And what kind of activities one will be performing, I think, on there. So, a glimpse of Vaikuntha, a glimpse of direct service to Lord Vishnu has been presented here in this section. And the later on, in the last section of this canto, starting from 25th chapter to 33 chapters, the teachings of Lord Kepler in that section it talks about what are the means by which one can go back to this Vaikuntha. The process by practicing which one can go back to the abode of the Supreme Lord Vaikuntha. So, in that way, we can see total three sections are there in the Canto 3. Chapter 5 to chapter 12, the process of material creation, how this material world has been created, what kind of facilities, what kind of divisions, abodes, people, etc. etc. And then, for what purpose? To facilitate Jiva's exercise of free will. And one that is done, they need to wind up their activities and go back to Godhead. And now, what is Godhead? That is described in the upcoming section, chapter 13 to chapter 19. In that section, two chapters, especially 15 and 16, talks about Vaikuntha. And then how to go back to the kingdom of Godhead. That is teachings of Lord Kapila. So, in this way, the Canto 5 has the complete picture. Where are we? Where we are supposed to go? And what is the process to go there? And on the way, while practicing our sadhana, what kind of obstacles will come? All the obstacles will be introduced to us in Canto 4 and Canto 5. The next two cantos, even Canto 6 also, we can say, the next upcoming 2-3 cantos will talk about after taking up sadhana, after taking up to the path of bhakti, while going back home, back to our dad, what kind of difficulties we have to overcome, what kind of obstacles that will come upon our path, and how different devotees in the past have dealt with them. That will be presented in the next couple of cantos. And having gone through all these obstacles, having overcome all these difficulties, when one successfully practices sadhana, at the end, one enters into Vaikuntha. And what kind of facilities that are there in Vaikuntha, what kind of service one will do having gone to Vaikuntha. A glimpse of that is given in the current action, chapter 15 and 16. So, keeping this in mind, kindly pay attention to these chapters. So, in the past, in these couple of verses, we have discussed that the previous chapter, anyway, it is said that Brahmaji thinking that how to make this process of creation a automatic process. While thinking like that and meditating upon the Lord, the two personalities appeared from Brahma, one male, one female, that was Swayambhuva and Satarupa. And both of them approached their father and their guru and they said, please give us some service. How can we please you? How can I serve you? How can we serve you? Then Lord Brahma says that thank you very much. You are so obedient to serve me, you have come to me. And you can do these three things. Beget, married to your wife, married to Satarupa, and beget children who are obedient to you are obedient, like just like you, and take care of the human beings you are living on the Bhu-mandala or Bhuloka, and worship the Supreme Lord by executing yajna. These are the three things. So by doing these three, actually, by protecting the people, uh, by you becoming the king and producing a future king as your son, you will actually perform the highest service to me, and the Supreme Lord will be satisfied with you as the protector of the population in the Bhu-mandala. I and the Supreme Lord both will be completely satisfied if you take care of the people on the Bhuloka properly, like your own children. So this was the instruction given by Lord Brahma to Swayambhuva Manu, a specific instruction. And then Lord Brahma says that, so if somebody does not follow this instruction, they neither satisfy the Supreme Lord nor satisfy me, and ultimately all their hardships are simply a waste of time. The hardships does not lead one anywhere. So in that way, for anyone in this world, these are the three instructions. According to, of course, since Swayambhuva Manu supposed to become the king, he was supposed to rule over the entire Bhu-mandala, Bhuloka, or the earthly abode. But in our at our respective positions, we are also supposed to take care of some people under us. So we are ruler for that particular space, for that particular place and space or people. So the same instruction holds good for us also. So the same three instructions, just the way they are applicable to Swayambhuva Manu, similarly they are also applicable to all of us. Wherever we are, whatever service we are supposed to do, we have to do that service diligently, and we have to create a legacy who can continue the same service for generation after generation. And that will be the worship of the Supreme Lord. Both Lord and Brahma both are pleased by that service. Otherwise, all our endeavors will be of simply a wasted labor. So that is where we stopped. And now today we'll continue from text number 14 onwards. Someone can repeat after me. Manuruvacha
मनुर्वाच
Adesheham Bhagavato
आदेशम् अहं भगवतो
Varteyami Vasudana
वर्तेयामि वसूदना
Svanam tu Ihanujanihi
स्थानं तु इहानुजानीहि
Prajanam Mama cha Prabho.
प्रजानां मम च प्रभो. Translation. Sri Manu said, O all-powerful Lord, O killer of all sins, I shall abide by your order. Now please let me know my place and that of the living entities born of me.
Yeah, Manu is saying that. Even Brahma said, "You please do three things." Then, as a obedient son, obedient follower, Manu is saying that, "O Lord, O Father, O Brahma, O killer of the sin, I will remain fixed in your order. Please consider a residence for me and my offspring." So when Brahma told, "Yeah, get married, beget children, take care of the people, and serve the Lord by performing yajna." Thank you. But please designate a particular place where I can do all these things. That was the request of Swayambhu Manu unto Brahmaji. O killer of the sins, I will remain fixed in your order. Consider a residence for my offsprings, for my children, and for my citizens. Because he's supposed to become the king and is to rule over the people. They need to stay somewhere. So where he should become the ruler? That is what he's asking. For which, what is the response of Brahmaji? येदोका सर्वभूतानां
यदोकः सर्वभूतानां
महीमग्नामहाम्बसि
महीमन्नामहंसि
अस्या उद्धरणे यत्नो
अस्यामुद्धरणे यत्नो
देवदेव्या विधीयताम्.
देवदिव्या विधीयताम्. Translation. O Master of the Demigod, please attempt to lift the earth, which is merged in the great water, because it is dwelling place for all the living entities. It can be done by your endeavor and by the mercy of the Lord. Great.
So now, when Swayambhu Manu asked that, "My dear sir, my dear father, my dear guru, my dear master, whatever it is, please give me a place where myself, my children, and my citizens can stay." When Manu asked that, Brahma replies, "Since you know the scriptures, do you know where the Manus and the progeny lived in the previous kalpas?" So, my dear son, my dear Swayambhuva, you know the scriptures, you are knowledgeable person. So, we must know that from scripture that where Manus generally stay in the previous kalpas, because this is the beginning of the current kalpa. Just kalpa started, Brahma is getting starting creation. So Brahma is asking, in the previous kalpas where Manus used to stay, what was the location designated for Manus? Because in every day of Brahma there are 14 Manus. They have a specific place to stay. So since you know Shastra, you must know where they stay. So Manu says, "Yes, my dear father, I know." Then please go there. So Brahma says, "If you know from Shastra where Manu is supposed to stay, please go there." But Manu says that I cannot go there because that place is not there. That place where I'm supposed to stay, it was submerged into Garbhodaka ocean. That's what Swayambhu Manu is saying in this verse. Oh Lord, since the dwelling place of all living entities, the earth, the Bhu-mandala, has sunk in the great water of Garbhodaka ocean, you should make an effort to raise the Bhu-mandala up. So as per Shastra, this is what I have understood, that the Manus stay in the Bhu-mandala, the humans also stay in the Bhu-mandala, and Manu takes care of the people and the Bhu-mandala, Bhuloka, everything. But as of now, that place has been submerged in Garbhodaka ocean. If you say that I'm supposed to be there only, you please do something to bring it up, because I myself cannot do anything. I'm not capable of doing that. So you please do something to bring it up above the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, so that I, my family members, and my children, my citizens can stay there. That was the request of Vaibhav. So then, how did Brahma responded to the request of this request of Shambhu? Maitreya says, Maitreya Uvacha
मैत्रेय उवाच
Parameshtitu apam madhye
परमेष्टितु अपामध्ये
तथा सन्नाम वेक्षगाम
सा सन्नमवेक्षगम्
कथम एनाम समुन्येस्य
तथा मेनं समुन्नेष्य
इति दध्यौ दियाचिरम्.
Dhyodhyachiram. Sri Maitre said, thus seeing the earth merge in the water, Brahma gave his attention for a long time to how it could be lifted.
So, as usual, Brahma, having heard from Swayambhu Manu, and I also having understood that the Bhu-mandala has been submerged into Garbhodaka ocean, Brahma, seeing the Bhu-mandala submerged in the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, contemplated for a long time Dadhyav Diya Chiram, how to raise it up. Katam Yenam Samunyasya iti. So Brahma was thinking about how to raise it up because the Bhu-mandala is very huge. It's submerged into Garbhodaka ocean, and at what depth it is there, he does not know. He is thinking about how to bring it up. So, as Brahmaji was thinking about it, he also meditated upon the Supreme Lord. Tadyav Diyachiram, meditated for a long time upon the Supreme Lord. So, as a result of that, what is happening? Srujato me kshitirvarbhi
Trijato me chitirvarbhi
plavyamana rasam gata
avavyamanam rasham gata
atartra kim anusteyam
अथात्र किम अनुसेत स्थेयम
अस्माभिः सर्गयोजितै.
सर्गयोजिता.
Please read the translation.
Brahma thought, while
Oh.
I have been engaged in the process of creation, the earth has been inundated by a deluge and has gone down into the depth of the ocean. What can we do who are engaged in this matter of creation? It is best to let the Almighty Lord direct us.
Yeah. Sorry, one more line was there. Yasyaham hridayad asam sa isho vidadatume. So Brahmaji is saying that while I was creating the living beings, the Bhu-mandala sunk in the Garbhodaka ocean. So I have been engaged to create. What should I do now? May the Lord from whose navel I arose perform this task of lifting up the Bhu-mandala. Yasya hridayadaham asam sa isha vidadatume. So Brahmaji is saying that I was busy creating the living entities, that was my service. But while doing so, the Bhu-mandala submerged into Garbhodaka ocean. So it is beyond my capacity to raise it up. Only the same Lord who had created me, who had engaged me in the process of creation, should bring it up. So like that, Brahmaji was thinking about the Lord within his own heart, meditating upon him. And where this Rasam refers to Rasatala. It actually means the general direction of Rasatala, the Garbhodaka ocean. So in the shloka, it is said that Plavyamana Rasam Gata. Prithvi, the Bhu-mandala, has gone towards Rasatala. Well, Rasatala is at the lower portion of the Bhu-mandala. The Bhu-mandala has gone towards Rasatala side and it went further down and entered into Garbhodaka ocean. Because the Bhu-mandala itself contains Rasatala Loka within itself. It is not that Rasatala is a separate entity. It is also part of the Bhu-mandala. Because the Rasatala is downward in the universe, the Bhu-mandala went downward toward the direction of the Rasatala and then eventually down to Garbhodaka ocean. So all of you are able to follow till now? Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Other devotees?
Yes, yes,
In
Prabhuji.
3.13.
Your voice is not clear, Prabhuji. Little louder and little. Yes, Prabhuji. So otherwise, if somebody says that the Bhu-mandala was situated in Saratala, since it is also elsewhere said that the earth, the Bhu-mandala containing Rasatala within itself, was submerged in the water. May the Lord perform this task. So if somebody translates that shloka saying that Bhu-mandala gone to Rasatala, no, not exactly like that, because Bhu-mandala itself contains Rasatala as part of it, and all of that together went down toward the direction of Rasatala and went into Garbhodaka ocean and went down below the Garbhodaka ocean. So right now, you may have some doubt. What is this Rasatala and all? What is this Garbhodaka ocean, etc., etc. So later on in sixth canto, when we study, that time we will get into detailed discussion about where is Rasatala, where is Garbhodaka ocean, where all these things, etc. But still, some of you might be seeing that our ISKCON painting, the painting of the entire universe with the 14 planetary systems. So in that there is one called Rasatala Loka within the Bhu-mandala, and below that is Patala, and below Patala is Garbhodaka ocean. So the entire Bhu-mandala consisting of the 7 Dvipas, 7 oceans, and also 7 Bilasvargas entered into the Garbhodaka ocean. So all put together entered into Garbhodaka ocean.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, so this means that in that picture you were explaining the thickness of the leaf. That is only that portion was submerged in the Garbhodaka ocean.
Yes. Only the entire Bhu-mandala, the leaf kind of thing for the lotus, the entire thing submerged into Garbhodaka ocean.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So this Bhu-mandala which God sang, so it consists of the 7 higher lokas and 7 lower lokas also, right?
See, Bhu-mandala is one of the 14 lokas. We have shown the pictures, na, in the previous 10th chapter. The entire Bhu-mandala, within that Bhu-mandala, the leaf, within that there are 7 cavities, the 7 Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Satapa, within them inside. So the entire leaf, which is just above the water, fell into Garbhodaka ocean. The upper 6, the remaining 6 are there as they are. Nothing happens to them.
Okay. So here Rasatala is mentioned. The Rasatala is a different mandala, right? Like
Rasatala is also one of the 7 lower planetary systems. It is in the direction of Rasatala. It is not onto the Rasatala. Even Rasatala also fell into Garbhodaka ocean. The Bhu-mandala consisting of 7 Dvipas and 7 oceans, and also the 7 Bilasvargas, all of them fell into Garbhodaka ocean. So it is like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So, but you mean
Go ahead.
You mean to say that the Bhu-mandala consists of the 7 Bilasvarga they God sang, and the lower planetary system, which is called lower planetary system, which one of them called is Rasatal, is different, right?
नहीं Papa, these 7 Bilasvargas are only called lower planetary systems. Usme one is Rasatala. The 7 Below Swargas are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Talatala, Rasatala, and Patala.
Yeah. So, so the Bhu-mandala consisting of the lower planet system got also sank.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Entire Bhu-mandala.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, actually, in this, you have told ki this present Manu is there, but it is only inundation happens only when the night has completed. So means and now it is we can say this seventh Manu is going on. So how this already synced in this Mandala?
अभी 7th का बात क्यों आ रहा है आपको? 7th नहीं, currently स्वयंभू मनु was just born. अभी अभी सुबह सुबह मनु का जन्म हो गया, and he immediately grown up to youth, and he and his wife are standing in front of Brahmaji and they're asking from service. And Brahma said, you studied Shastra, you know where Manu supposed to stay. And Manu said, I'm supposed to stay in Bhuloka, but the Bhuloka was submerged into Garbhodaka ocean. So Brahma was understood that while I was busy with doing all the creation, it was Brahma only who divided the entire lotus into 14 divisions, as we discussed in chapter 10. And Brahma was busy creating different living entities who were supposed to live in all over the universe. So while he was busy creating different entities, the Bhu-mandala again fell into Garbhodaka ocean. So Manu says the place where the place where I am supposed to stay, where the previous Manus used to stay, that one now fell into Garbhodaka ocean. Please raise it up. Then Brahma thought that, I mean, it is beyond my capacity. The same Supreme Lord who produced me, the same Supreme Lord who had given me service of creation, should bring it up. And so that my creations can stay there and continue their activities. So like that, Brahmaji is meditating upon Supreme Lord.
So that means this happened in the first Manu, right, Prabhuji?
Even first Manu had to begin. Rainbow Manvantara period had to begin. That time only it fell into Garbhodaka ocean.
So this is not happened in the seventh Manu, this current Manu.
See, अभी 7th Manu का बात क्यों आ रहा है?
You are telling me this is current Manu, that is I am asking.
I did not say current Manu. Current Manu, okay. Even if I by mistake I said current Manu means Swayambhu Manu, जो Manu चालू होने वाला.
Okay.
Because Manu was born, Manu was told to become the ruler of the entire Bhuloka. So he will rule for one Manvantara. So Manu is going to start. The current is not current as per how we are living. Current is as per our discussion. Okay. So like that. So don't worry about that 7th, 8th and all those things are later. But current just follow Bhagavatam. Forget about other things. So because I am saying this, many places we see Lord Varaha's photo with the earth globe. That is actually need to be corrected. The one which fell into Garbhodaka ocean is not the earth globe. It is actually the Bhu-mandala. The whole Bhu-mandala, the lotus leaf that we showed in the previous chapters, that fell into Garbhodaka ocean. And Lord Varaha will appear and lift the entire Bhu-mandala from the Garbhodaka ocean. So that is understanding. And that Bhu-mandala will contain within it the 7 lower planetary systems. Patala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. All those are also their part of that. So kindly understand this. So once you can see the 10th chapter picture, so that you will understand it. Yes, Prabhu, बताइए.
Okay, any reason that how Bhu-mandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean, or it's not given in the book?
See how it fell and all we'll discuss later on. Abhi to we are starting the past time. Let us go ahead. Don't worry. Don't expect everything climax to be revealed now itself. Till wait till the end of the movie. Okay?
Okay.
थोड़ा सस्पेंस रखो. कैसे हुआ क्यों हुआ वो सब. इतना आतुरता जरूरत नहीं.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Just follow the story. इति अभिध्यायतो नासा someone can
Iti
repeat
abhidhyayato nasa
विवरात् सानगा
vivarata sahanaga
वराहतो को निरगात्
varahato ko niragad
अंगुष्टा परिमानका
angushta parimanaka. O sinless Vidura, all of a sudden, while Brahma was engaged in thinking, a small form of a boar came out of his nostril. The measurement of the creature was not more than the upper portion of a thumb. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here, Maitreya is saying that, O Vidura, O sinless Vidura, while Brahma was thinking in this way, Brahma thinking that the same Lord who produced me, the same Lord who engaged me in creation, I was busy in creation. I have already created 14 lokas. I created Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Sargaloka, Maharloka, Janloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Satala, Patala, everything. And I was creating living entities so that they can stay in all these places. The Bhu-mandala fell down. So it is beyond my capacity to lift it up. The same Lord who produced me, who gave me this service, should bring it up so that the people who are created by me can stay in some of these places and continue their activities. So as he was thinking like that, as he was meditating on the Supreme Lord like that, he was not. It is see. It is not like a derivative way. He is actually pleading to the Lord, "Oh Lord, it is you who have engaged me in this particular service. I am busy with doing this service. Somehow I missed it. So unknowingly it fell down to Garbhodaka ocean and it is beyond my capacity to lift it up. Please you do something to bring it up so that your plan of creation will go on." So in that way. So while Brahma was thinking in this way, suddenly from his nose, Nasa Vivarat. Vivara means hole. So that we have two nostrils, basically the two holes. From that two holes, a small boar appeared. Varaha Toko Niragad. Varaha Toko means Toka means small. It's very small. See, our nostril itself is very small. From that small nostril, what can come out is also small. The size of a thumb. Angushta Parimanaka. So it's like that. The thumb is like exactly the size of the nostril. Even it is very tight, but still like that much size of a uh, uh, creature appeared from the nostril of Brahmaji. If you remember, this Angushta word also came in some time back when Uttara was praying to Lord Krishna, who was about to leave Hastinapur and go to Dwarka. Uttara came and saying that Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Janandana. So she said that please protect me, protect me. The Brahmasra sent by Ashwatthama chasing after me and my child in the womb. So please protect, at least protect my child. Even if I am supposed to die, I'll let me die, but my child should be saved in the last minute of Kuru dynasty. So then Lord Krishna entered into the womb of Uttara. That time it is said that Angushta Matramaram Spurat Maurina Kundalam. So the Lord who was within the womb of Uttara, who was roaming here, there, and drilling his bow in order to counteract the Brahmastra thrown by Ashwatthama, was the size of Angushta, the thumb size. So that sized Lord was seen by Parikshit Maharaj, who was inside the womb of Uttara. He had the darshan of Lord Narayana, or Lord Vasudeva, four-handed form of Lord Vasudeva within the womb of his mother only. Here also same that Angushta word is used. Toka means very small. So in that way, a small form of boar appeared from the nostril of Brahma. तस्याभिपश्यताकस्ता Hare Krishna, someone repeat.
तस्याभिपश्यता अखस्ता
Shanena Kila Bharata
क्षणेन किल भारत
Gajamatra Pravruddhetat
गजमात्र प्रबुद्धे तद्
Adbhutam Abunmahat.
Adbhutam Abhunmahat. Translation: O descendant of Bharata, while Brahma was observing him, that boar became situated in the sky in a wonderful manifestation as gigantic as a great elephant. Hare Krishna.
Hmm. So, as Brahma was meditating upon the Supreme Lord, a small creature appeared from his nostril and it went into the sky and stood there. And as he was standing in the sky, it is expanding, and it took the size of a great elephant. While Brahma watched, the boar became situated in the sky and increased to the size of an elephant. Gaja Matra Pravruddhe. In a moment, how much time it took? It took Shanena. Not so much time. It came out of the nostril and went into the sky. Currently, Brahma is in Satyaloka in his own abode. Within Satyaloka, only Thoda, just above into the sky, and the small creature, which is size of thumb, expanded into the size of a great elephant, and it became most astonishing. Tad Mahatadbhutam Abhut. So it is like all a miracle is happening. Suddenly, one creature came from nowhere from his nostril, and it took the size, it was size of the thumb, and it became like a huge elephant, huge mountain. Gajamatra means the size of an elephant, very very huge. So Brahma was looking at it with astonishment. Not only Brahma, all his sons, all Brahma's sons, and other people who are around Brahma, they also are looking at this creature, the freshly appeared creature, and they are also astonished. So who are the people there looking at this same creature? Marichi Pramukhairviprai
Marichi Pramukhairviprai
Kumarairmanuna Saha
Kumarai Manuna Saha
Drishtva Tashaukaram Rupam
Drishva Tatsaukaram Rupam
Tarkayam Asachitrada.
Tarakayamasa Chitradha. Struck with wonder at observing the wonderful boar-like form in the sky, Brahma, with great Brahmanas like Marichi as well as the Kumaras and Manu, began to argue in various ways. Next.
Yeah. When Brahma saw that form of a boar, he began to speculate in various ways, along with the sages headed by Marichi, the Kumaras, and Manu. So, overall, watching, Brahma was there. Brahma's sons Marichi, Pulaha, Kratu, Vashishta, Bhrugu, like that are there. And Kumaras are also there. And Manu and Saturpa were also there because they were, for their request, only things are happening. They were also standing there. So, in one sense, whoever has been produced by Brahma till now, they were all there. They were all looking at this wonderful new creature appearing from nostril of Brahmaji. And they are telling that they are giving a different arguments. Yeah, it is a small pig or this, that, something like that. They keep on trying to tell what it is. Then what happened? Kimeta Shukaravyajam
Kimetashu Karavyajam
Tattvam Divyam Avastitam
Sattvam Divyam Avastitham
Aho Bataschariyamidam
Aho Bakaschariyamidam
Nasaya Me Vinishrutam.
Nasayame Vinishritam. Is this some extraordinary entity come in pretense of a boar? It's very wonderful that he has come from my nose.
Is this some divine being taking the role of a boar? This form which appeared from my nose is astonishing. So they are telling that is he a divine personality, a yogi, a mystic, a devata, or who is he? So then, Drishto Angushta Shiro Matra
दृष्टो अंगशिरो मात्रा
क्षणात् गन्धशिलाशमा.
हरि बोल.
Yeah, please continue. क्षणात् गन्धशिलासमा.
क्रानाद गंधशिला आसना.
अपि स्वेत् भगवान् एष.
अपि स्वीत भगवान एषा.
यज्ञो मे केदयन्मनः.
यज्ञो मे केदयन अन्मनः. Purport. Since Brahma, the supermost person in the universe, and he had
Not
never
purport.
before
Translation. Translation.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Prabhuji. First translation. First of all, his bore was seen no bigger than the tip of a thumb, and within the moment he was large as a stone. My mind is perturbed. Is he the supreme personality of Godhead, Vishnu? Hare Krishna.
So just like when Matsya also appeared to King Satyavrata, first it appeared like a small fish, like the small finger. And when he was about to put that fish back into the river, the fish said, please, don't put me back. The big fish said, lift me up. Please protect me. So he put it in Kamandalu and went home. By the time he went home, that became as bigger as the Kamandalu. Then put into a bigger vessel, it became bigger. He put into a well in the home, in the palace, it became bigger. Then a lake nearby, water reservoir, river, ocean. It became very huge. That time the king was thinking that, yeah, is he a yogi? Is he a devata? Is he a mystic person? Ultimately, he thought that no one must have been like this. He must be the supreme Lord. Then he requested the Lord, my dear Lord, what was the purpose of you coming in this form? Here also same thing is happening. Brahma is saying same thing. Appearing first the size of the tip of my thumb, he has quickly become the size of a huge boulder. Khandashila, huge boulder. Perhaps he is the Supreme Lord Yajna. Apisvit Bhagavan Yajna. So Yajna, we will very soon he will appear at the Manvantara Avatara for the Swayambhu Manvantara period. Yajna is the son of Ruchi and Akuti. Akuti will be the eldest daughter of Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu is yet to marry. After marriage, they will beget 3 daughters, and 1 daughter will be given marriage to Sage Ruchi, and they will beget Yajna. And that Yajna will become the Manvantara Avatara for the Swayambhu Manvantara period. And Brahma is thinking that, is he the Manvantara Avatara appeared right now in the form of this special creature who is disturbing my mind with doubts? So this is one assumption Brahmaji is coming up with. So like that, different people are coming up with different assumptions in that way. Yajna here refers to the form of the Lord who was the Manvantara Avatara during this Swayambhu Manvantara period. He disturbs Brahma's mind because of giving him doubts about his extraordinary form. Brahma could not come to a conclusion, but he just thinking that, okay, the Manvantara Avatara who was supposed to take care of this Manvantara period are already appeared in the form of this special creature. Like that, he was thinking. इति मीमांसतस्तस्य
इति मीमांसतस्तस्य
ब्रह्मणा सह सूनुभिः
ब्रह्मणा सह सूनुभिः
भगवान् यज्ञपुरुषो
भगवान् यज्ञपुरुषो
जगर्जागेन्द्रसन्निभा.
जगर्जागेन्द्रसन्निभा. Translation. While Brahma was deliberating with his sons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, roared tumultuously like a great mountain. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, while Brahma was deliberated in this way with his sons, Sahasunubi, the 4 Kumaras, the 9 Manasaputras and other sons and Manu, everyone. The Lord, Bhagavan, master of the sacrifice, Yajna as large as a huge mountain, Agendra Sannibha. So, Agendra Sannibha, Jagarja, he roared loudly. So, Lord Varaha, who just appeared as small as the thumb from the nostril of Brahmaji and who assumed the form of a huge elephant, as Brahma came to an assumption that he must be Lord Yajna, who is the Manvantara avatar for the Swayambhu Manvantara period, appeared to help us. Then the Lord roared. That roar is indicative of uh, acceptance. The roar is indicative of correctness. Yes, what you are thinking is actually correct. I am the same Lord. I have appeared to help you. So like that to indicate, to assure Brahma that what you are thinking is right. It's me only. So like that. He roared loudly so that Brahma and others could become peaceful. Okay, okay, it is the Supreme Lord who appeared as Varaha. They can come to a conclusion. Brahmanam Arshayam Asa
ब्रह्माणम् हर्षयामास
Haristam Cha Vidottaman
हरिष्टां च द्विजोत्तमान्
Swagarjitena Kakuba
स्वगर्जितेन ककुभः
Pratiswanayata Vibhu.
प्रतिस्वनयता विभुः. Translation: The omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead enlivened Brahma and the other highly elevated Brahmanas by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all directions. Hare Krishna.
The Lord gave joy to Brahma and the great sages by his roaring, which echoed in all directions. By his roar, all of them became happy because they understood that the Supreme Lord appeared as Varaha. Now they are in great joy. So then, Nishamyate Garhitam Sakeda.
निशम्यते गर्गरित स्वदे स्वखेदः
Kashayishnumayamaya Shukarasya.
जैष्णुमायां सुकरस्य सुकरस्य
Janastap Janastapasasya Nivashinaste.
जनस्तपः सत्यनिवासिनस्ते
Tribi Pravrittirmanayo Munayo Grunam Sma.
त्रिभिः पवित्रैः मुनयो गृह्णन् स्म. Translation: When the great sages and thinkers who are resident of Janaloka, Tapaloka and Satyaloka heard the tremulous voice of Lord Bor, which of the all auspicious sound of the all merciful Lord, they chanted auspicious chants from the three Vedas. Hare Krishna.
So when Brahma and others heard the grunting of the merciful boar, all their lamentation was destroyed. Then the famous sages of Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Brahmaloka, such as Bhrigu, began praising the boar with verses from the three Vedas. So all the people who were stood along with Brahmaji there, when hearing the roaring sound of Lord Varaha, which is to the confirmation that yes, I am that Lord Yajna who appeared to help you all. So they became very happy and they began to offer Vedic prayers like Purushottama prayer and other prayers from the three Vedas. Maya Maya means merciful or knowledgeable or not having the disease of ignorance. So Lord is called as Maya Maya. Maya Maya means the Lord is so merciful upon Brahmaji and all other Brahma's sons, or the Lord is without any disease or without any ignorance, is full of knowledge. The sound resembled the grunting of a wild boar. Gargaritam. So the boar, the Lord Varaha, destroyed their lamentation arising from doubts about the boar or lamentation of being unable to deliver the earth, the Bhu-mandala. So both Brahmaji and all his sons were under depression. Bhu-mandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean. What should be done? What to be done? Then a special creature appeared, and they were thinking that who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Then they thought that okay, this must be Lord Yajna, the Manvantara Avatara. Then, in response to that, when Lord Varaha resounded, huge sound, Gargarahidam. Then all of them became happy. Now they are confirmed that first of all, Lord appeared. Second, the Lord is going to lift the Bhu-mandala, and there will be no issue. So things will be sorted out. So they are completely at peace and then happy. They were celebrating the appearance of the Supreme Lord. And as a result of that, they began to chant the prayers from the three Vedas, such as Pushilpa prayers, etc. Brahma and others praised the boar, and then the famous sages of Janaloka and other higher planets such as Bhrigu praised the boar with mantras from three Vedas. Sirbi Savitrahai. So here it is said that they already praised, but the prayers which were sung by these people will be narrated a little later in the same chapter. After some verses, what kind of prayer these personalities who are the residents of Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka have offered to Lord Varaha. They will come a little later in the chapter. Tesham satam veda vitana murtir
Tesham satam veda vitana murtir
Brahma vadaryatma gunanuvadam
Brahma vadartya atmagunanuvadam
vinadya bhuyo vibhutodayaya
vinodya bhuyo vibudodayaya
Gajendra lilo jalama vishesha
Gajendra lilo jalama vivesha. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the water after roaring again in reply to the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. The Lord is the object of Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him.
Yeah, it is said that Lord Varaha, the boar, the personification of the Vedas, Veda Vidana Murti. The form of the Lord is Vedas personified. His form is made up of Vedas. Later on in the chapter, it is said that Lord is a form made up of Yajna. He is called as Yajna personified. So in any case, Lord is everything, no problem. So Lord Varaha, the personified form of the Vedas, understanding that the sages chanting of the Vedas was a praise of his wonderful qualities, roared once again and entered the water like a playful elephant in order to give benefit to the wise. Vibhuda Upa Udayaya. So, first of all, when Brahma and others were thinking, they were assuming that okay, he must be this one, he must be this one, he must be this one. Then at the end, when Brahma came to a conclusion that he must be Lord Yajna, the Manvantara Avatara, then Lord Varaha roared loudly. And now, being happy, hearing that the sages are offering wonderful prayers. And hearing those prayers, again he roared loudly. Lord Varaha, he once again roared very loudly. And then, after roaring loudly, after giving assurance to all the great sages headed by Brahma, etc., then immediately from Satyaloka, he jumped down to Garbhodaka ocean. The Garbhodaka ocean, from Garbhodaka ocean, Satyaloka is located at a height of almost 250 million yojanas. One yojana is 13 kilometers. So kindly understand how much far it is. 250 million or 25 crore kilometers or 25 crore yojanas into 13. How much it will be 25 into 13? Anyone can quickly tell? 25 into 13. 25 10 ja 250, 25 3 ja 75, 325. 325 crore kilometers. Lord jumped down. Satyaloka is at a height of almost 325 kilometers. Sorry, 325 crore kilometers. And Lord Varaha was jumping from the top, from that height, from the Satyaloka into Garbhodaka ocean. And what was the size of Lord Varaha? He was the size of Gajendra. Sorry, he was the size of great elephant. So he jumped into Garbhodaka ocean in order to benefit everyone. By how? By lifting up the Bhu-mandala, which is submerged into Garbhodaka ocean. So it is like that. Lord Varaha is described as the personification of the Vedas. Veda Vitana Murti or Veda Murti is called as the personified form of the Vedas. Since the Vedas arise from Lord's breathing, and the Lord does not have a material form. This form which appeared from the nostril of Brahmaji is not a material form. Instead, it is actually a spiritual form, and it is the form made up of the Vedas. And later on, we see that it is the form made up of Yajna. It is called Yajna Purusha also. So here in this context, since it is mentioned that it is the form made up of Vedas, so there is a discussion about him. So who is he? And what is the speciality of this person? So it is said that the Prabhupada writes in the purport. So as a matter of play and having the Vedas appear from his nostril, the Lord then appeared from the nostril of Brahma as a boar. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that so Lord is Vedas personified. So Lord breathed out. He himself is the personified form of the Vedas. He breathes out. When he breathes out, through his breathing, the Vedas appeared. And Lord Brahma breathes in that way. That breathing, see, when two people are there, one person breathes out, that the breathed out air mixed into the open atmosphere. And that will be breathed in by the person who is there nearby. And then, see, thing is that. And then from that Brahma who breathed in the breath of Lord Varaha appeared from Brahma's nostril, appeared Lord Varaha. The Supreme Lord, when he breathes out, the Vedas come. So that Vedas which are there in the air are breathed in by Brahma. And then from Brahma's nostril again, when he breathes out, comes Lord Varaha. So in that way, what Brahma breathed in is Vedas. And what came out of the nostril of Brahma is Varaha. And the Lord Varaha is the Vedas personified. Like that, it is mentioned. So, what Lord breathes is the Vedas is mentioned in 2711. Vacho babuvir ushati shvashatostya nasta nastaha. Nasta means nasa. From the nostril of the Supreme Lord, when he breathes out, shvasto, shwasa, ushwasa, when he breathes out, the Vedas appear. So this shloka was talking about the pastime of Lord Hayagriva. So it was Lord Hayagriva when Brahma lost, where at the beginning of the day, when Brahmaji is supposed to create, if you remember 12th chapter, after the creations of the 11 Rudras, Brahma again meditated on Supreme Lord. Then there appeared 10 Manasaputras and he requested them to create. They said, okay. They were doing it. Then Brahma started doing other creations like the Dharma, Adharma, then Vak. When Vak appeared, Brahmaji became attracted to her and he ran after her. The great sages, Bhrigu, Vasishta, Marichi, and all, they prayed to Brahma, saying that you should not do like this. Brahma did not listen. Then they prayed to Supreme Lord, my dear Lord, you only protect. You are the establisher of the principles of Dharma. You please do the nice. Then the Supreme Lord as Paramatma inspired Brahma to take the words of these great sages seriously. Then Brahma understood. He gave up that disposition. The disposition turned into fog. So then Brahma again mated the Supreme Lord. Then he understood that I need to have the shelter of the Vedas. Without Vedas, I cannot continue the creation further and I cannot guide the people whom I created. I need the Vedas. So then, at later part of the Bhagavatam, it is said that Brahma undertook a great sacrifice. He performed a huge sacrifice with the intention to regain the Vedas. Then, from the middle of the sacrifice, there appeared Lord Hayagriva. In the pictures, in BPT pictures, we see that Lord Hayagriva is giving the Vedas. From his hands, he is giving to Brahmaji, like So Lord Hayagriva appeared from Yajna and he was giving the Vedas like this. But we hear in the first canto Bhagavatam that Tene Brahma Hrudaya Adikavaye. The Vedas manifest in the heart of Brahma. How? So when Hayagriva appeared from the Yajna, he breathed out, and through that breathing, Lord Brahma then breathed in. So through that breathing, the Vedas entered into the nostril of Brahma and then entered into the heart of Brahma. And in the heart of Brahma, all the Vedas manifested. And then when Brahma breathed out, eventually now, at this point of time, while there was a need to lift the Bhu-mandala, the same Vedas which are there in the heart of Brahma came out through the breathing of Brahma and took the form of a small creature the size of thumb. And it became like an elephant. And that was Varaha. So in that way, the Lord is Veda Vitana Murti. So like that, some connection we can see. So knowing the Vedas recited by the sages to be the descriptions of his wonderful qualities, Lord Varaha roared to give them joy, to give them the assurance that yes, thank you very much, whatever prayers you are offering, thank you very much. Saying that, he jumped from the top of Satyaloka into Garbhodaka ocean. It is like that. So that he can lift the mandala. Yeah. So while he was jumping into Garbhodaka ocean, what was the way? What was the description of his beautiful form? Like we see in Ramayana, Sundarakanda, while Hanumanji was jumping across the ocean from Gandhana Madana mountain to Lanka, there is a beautiful description. Because the jump, the journey of Hanumanji is so beautiful. That's why that entire section of Ramayana is called as Sundarakanda. So now next couple of verses talks about the beauty of Lord Varaha as he was jumping from the top of Satyaloka into Garbhodaka ocean. So Hare Krishna, all of you are able to follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Anyone has
Prabhuji.
any question? Anyone has any questions?
No questions, Prabhu.
Ukshiptavala Kachara Katora. Please repeat.
उत्क्षिप्तवालः खचरः कठोरः
Tata Vidunvan Kararoma Satvak.
तटा विदुन्वन् खररोमचत्वक्
Kurahatadabrasiddamstrakod Iksha.
पुराहताब्रहासितदृष्ट इक्षा
Jyotirbabase Bhagavan Mahidara.
ज्योतिर्बभासे भगवान् इन्द्रः. Translation: Before entering the water to rescue the earth, Lord Boar flew in the sky, slashing his tail. His had hard hairs quivering. His very glance was luminous, and he scattered the clouds in the sky with his hooves and his glittering white tusk. Hare Krishna.
The tough boar, with her tail raised, moved in the sky. Kachara, having skin with rough bristles, he shook his ears and dispersed the clouds with his hooves, with white tusks and a glance like the sun and moon. He appeared like a huge mountain. Babase Mahidraha. As he was jumping down from Satyaloka all the way down to Garbhodaka ocean, on the way, there were so many clouds. So he moved his both shoulders here and there. All the clouds were dispersed here and there. And he was appearing so bright, so bright. His two eyes are appearing like sun and moon. So then he was about to jump into the ocean. And he was appearing like a huge mountain, like a huge mountain is coming down. This verse is a meditation on the boar, Lord Varaha, in the water. He had his tail raised high. He descended to the three worlds from Brahmaloka on the path of the sky. His skin had rough hair. His glance was like the light of the sun and moon. He was the lifter of the Bhu-mandala. Or his appearance was very huge, like a mountain. So everyone was observing that a huge personality, like a huge mountain, is jumping down into Garbhodaka ocean. It is a beautiful scene to look at. So then he will enter into Garbhodaka ocean and search for the Bhu-mandala. That is mentioned in the next verse. घ्राणेन पृथ्व्या पदवीं विजिघ्रन्
घ्राणेन कृत्वा पदिविजिघ्नम्
क्रोधापदेशा स्वयमाध्वराङ्गः
गोदा प्रदेशः स्वयमध्वरागा
करालदंष्ट्रोऽपि अकरालदृग्भ्याम्
करालदंष्टो अप्यकरालदृग्भ्या
उद्वीक्ष्य विप्रान् गृणतो विशत्कम्
उद्वीक्ष्य विप्रान् गुणतो अवीक्षकम्. He is personally the Supreme Lord Vishnu and was therefore transcendental, yet because he had a body of a hog, he searched after the earth by smell. His tusks were fearful, and he glanced over the devotee Brahmanas engaged in offering prayers. Thus he entered the water. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Smelling out the Bhu-mandala with his nose, the Lord, who is the Vedas personified in the form of a boar with sharp tusks, glanced around with gentle eyes at the sages praising him and entered the water. While Lord Varaha was coming down from the Satyaloka, the great sages were continuing to offer prayers unto him only. So, but as the Lord came to the ocean and began to find out where the Bhu-mandala is by smelling. So in the past also we saw that one of the important characteristic of the animal is Granagna. They understand what is eatable and what is not eatable by smell. Same way, here Lord Varaha is trying to understand where is the Bhu-mandala by smell within the Garbhodaka ocean. So Lord Varaha was entering into the Garbhodaka ocean, trying to understand where is the Bhu-mandala through smell. So this verse describes the activities of Lord Varaha. Being the Vedas personified, he played imitating a boar. So he is acting like a boar. Normally we see in the villages, in the forest also, the village boar and wild boar, the forest boar, they try to understand what is eatable and what is not eatable through smell. Not only boar, any other animals, even cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep also, they actually smell on the ground before grazing. They smell and based then they began to graze. So it is natural for the animals. Using the ornament of Avanti, the verse confirms that the Lord was actually really a boar. It is not that Lord is imitating like a boar, trying to understand where the Bhu-mandala is there smelling, but is actually the boar. He's not acting, but he actually assumed the uh, characteristics of a boar and acting like a, not acting, actually playing as a boar. So like that. That's how it is indicated. So Lord was started from Satyaloka, coming down and entering into Garbhodaka ocean, trying to understand where the Bhu-mandala through the smell. So while he is entering into Garbhodaka ocean, so what was the scene that is mentioned in the next verse? Savajrakutanganipata-vega
Savajrakutanganipattavega
Vishirna-kukshi Tanayan Udanvan
Vishirnakukshistanayan udanvan
Ustrishta-dirgormi Bhujairivartas
उत्सृष्टदीर्घोरुभुजैरिवार्ताः
शुक्रोशयज्ञेश्वर पाहि मेति
शुक्रोशयज्ञेश्वर पाहि मेति. Translation: diving into the water like a giant mountain, Lord Bor divided the middle of the ocean, and two high waves appeared as the arms of the ocean, which cried loudly as if praying to the Lord, O Lord of all sacrifices, please do not cut me in two. Kindly give me protection. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. When the cavity of the ocean was split with the force of the diving of the boar, which had body like a huge mountain, the ocean began to roar. So there are two things. First of all, Lord Varaha was very huge, like the elephant, not the elephant of our, the elephant of Satyaloka, huge size. And he was jumping from the height of 250 million yojanas, which was around 25 million crore yojanas, 325, 325 crore kilometers. From that height, a huge elephant, like a huge mountain, when it is jumping into ocean, what happens to the ocean? The ocean are thinking that I am going into break apart into two pieces. The ocean is thinking that I'll be divided into two parts. Extending its arms in the form of long waves, it cried out in pain, O master of sacrifice, please protect me. Agneshwara. Here Lord is called as Agneshwara. O Lord of the sacrifice, please don't kill me or don't divide me apart into two pieces. Please protect me. As Lord is diving into the ocean became like the two parts. The ocean is praying to the Supreme Lord for protection. This verse examines the sound of the ocean at that time. It is actually when the Lord Varaha is jumping into the ocean, it produced a splash sound. And that sound appeared to be like this: O Lord of the sacrifice, please protect me. So in that way. The boar had a body like a mountain of thunderbolts. The ocean was split with the force of the hard bodied boar while he was diving into the ocean. The ocean, in great pain, fearing his life was ending, cried out while extending his arms in the form of long waves. When Lord was jumping into the ocean, the two waves, one on the right side, one on the left side, it appeared to be like opening our hands into the air, just like in temple when we say Haribol, we open our both the hands. Like that, the ocean was split into two parts, and it is coming like a huge waves into upraised arms and offering prayer to Supreme Lord, saying that, "O Lord of sacrifice, please protect me." The ocean god cried out like this. So he was praying for his protection. So then what happened? So Lord jumped into Garbhodaka ocean. Kure kure kshirapre darayam stadapa.
Kure shura prayer darayam shtadapa
Utparaparam triparurasayam.
utparaparam triparurasayam
Dadarshagam tatra susupshuragre.
dadarshagam tatra susukshuragre
Yam jivadan dhanin swamabhyadatta.
yam jivadhanim swayamabhyadatta. Translation: Lord Boar penetrated the water with his hooves, which were like sharp arrows, and found the limits of the ocean, although it was unlimited. He saw the earth, the resting place for all living beings, lying as it was in the beginning of creation, and he personally lifted it. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, cleaving the water with his sharp hooves, the Lord of Sacrifice crossed the insurmountable depth of the ocean and saw the Bhu-mandala, shelter of all the Jivat, within the lower depths of the Garbhodaka ocean. Resting there as it had during the previous devastations and which he had personally protected. So now, Lord Varaha jumped from the top of the universe from Satyaloka at a height of 250 million yojanas. And as he was jumping with a huge body like that of a great elephant or great mountain, the ocean was crying out for protection, thinking that I'm going to die now. But Lord jumped into the ocean, and having jumped into the ocean, he began to swim across and trying to find out where the Bhu-mandala is there. And finally, after searching all over the Garbhodaka ocean, he went lower down of the Garbhodaka ocean, which is at the depth of 250 million yojanas deep. From the upper surface of the Garbhodaka ocean, whatever height at which Satyaloka is there, 250 million yojanas, and that much depth below in the ocean. The ocean itself also had that much depth. At the base of the ocean, down below the ocean, the Bhu-mandala is resting. Just like the Bhu-mandala was resting during the night of Brahma. In the night of Brahma also, the Bhu-mandala, having entered into Garbhodaka ocean, who was situated at the base of the universe, it was resting there. And now also, same Bhu-mandala again entered into Garbhodaka ocean, went to the down portion of the Garbhodaka ocean, that is where it was resting. And Lord Varaha went there and he understood that Bhu-mandala is there. He saw the Bhu-mandala there. His hooves like sharp weapons cleaved the water. The ocean without limits had a limit of 250 million yojanas. He who has three divisions, the Lord in the form of a sacrifice, saw the Bhu-mandala in the Garbhodaka ocean below Patala. Basically, much below Garbhodaka ocean, at the base of the Garbhodaka ocean, toward the direction of Patala Loka, with respect to Bhu-mandala, he went down and then he understood. So, it is impossible for the earth, the Bhu-mandala, to be situated in Rasatala after falling from its position above the 7 lower planetary systems because of the other descriptions. So, though the verse says that Rasayam, Itiparu Rasayam, it is found at the Rasatala. Itiparu Rasayam. So, one may say that it is a Rasatala Loka, but actually it is not like that because the Bhu-mandala itself will contain Atala, Vitala, Sutala, and Rasatala, Patala, etc. Along with these 7 lower planetary systems, the entire Bhu-mandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean in the direction of Rasatala and Patala and came down below the Garbhodaka ocean. That is where it was resting. And that is where Varaha found it and he will lift it up. So in the Vishnu Dharmottara, it is said that Patala Muleshwara Bhoga Samstau. So basically it is said in other scriptures, may the Lord, to whom there is no equal, who held the Bhu-mandala, placing it in his hooves, which destroyed the happiness of the rulers at the bottom of Patala, increase my auspiciousness. Even many other scriptures also say that the Bhu-mandala fell in the direction of Rasatala or Patala, but actually into Garbhodaka ocean. Instead of directly saying Garbhodaka, many times Bhagavatam says that in the direction of Rasatala, in the direction of Patala, or like that. There the Lord saw the Bhu-mandala within the Garbhodaka ocean. It will be said that Salileswa Kura Kranta Sakura Kranta. He placed the earth, the Bhu-mandala, on the water which had been attacked by his food. Later on in the same chapter, for text number 46, we see that now the Bhu-mandala was inside the ocean of Garbhodaka ocean, inside the Garbhodaka ocean. And Lord Varaha, he dived deep into the ocean and he found it at the base of the Garbhodaka ocean and he will lift it up. And later on, he will place it on the surface of the Garbhodaka ocean. Salileswa Kurakranta, just above the surface of the Garbhodaka ocean. So one devotee was asking how it fell down into Garbhodaka ocean. So later on it will be understood that later on when we read the future chapters, chapter 16, 17, 18, 19, etc., the fight between Lord Varaha and Hiranyaksha. So, but now the things are happening in Swayambhu Manvantara. The Bhu-mandala is like the lotus leaf which appeared from the stem which is sprouting from the navel of Garbhodaka. Vishnu was inside the Garbhodaka ocean. The stem came out of the water, then there are just above the surface of the water there is a leaf. Then the stem goes further to the top of the universe, there is a flower. And Lord Brahma divided that entire lotus consisting of the flower, stem, and leaf into 14 divisions. So after dividing, they are there. They have different forces keeping them there in their respective positions. And the Bhu-mandala, which was placed just above the water, since it is a flat, big, it can float above the water. But we don't know how and why the leaf-like structure of the Bhu-mandala was submerged into Garbhodaka ocean. Because after cutting the entire lotus into 14 divisions, now there is no solid support. In our observation, in any lotus pond, there is a leaf, and beneath the leaf there is a trunk. The trunk goes down into the water, and there are roots, and all the root might be touching the ground also at the base. There is some support. If you just keep some leaf just above the water, sometimes the leaf may float. If the leaf becomes a little heavy, it may sink into the water because there is no solid support below. But if there is the stem down below going all the way up to the base of the ground, even if you keep some weight on top of the leaf does not sink into the water completely because there is support. When there is no support, there is a great possibility it can sink. Since Bhu-mandala is also a heavy structure, so it is placed upon the water, it can go down because if there is no support. So the Brahma divided into divisions and there was no support kept and it went down. And later on we see in this chapter, and it is not mentioned clearly in the Bhagavatam, but it is indicated, it is hinted. After Lord Varaha lift the entire Bhu-mandala, the sages will offer prayers. And one of the prayers, they say that, my dear Lord, you took great effort to lift the Bhu-mandala from the base of the Garbhodaka ocean, which is at a depth of 250 million yojanas. And now you also please do something so that it will not fall once again into Garbhodaka ocean. So by the request of all these great sages, headed by Lord Brahma and Swayambhu Manu, etc., Lord Varaha will assume the form of Lord Kurma. And Lord Kurma will be floating in the Garbhodaka ocean. The entire Bhu-mandala will be kept on the back of Garbhodaka ocean so that the Bhu-mandala does not sink into Garbhodaka ocean. Because Kurma himself keeping it on his back. Kurma, the Lord Kurma tortoise, he can happily float in the water. And upon him, there could be a heavy structure. No issue. Because Lord himself, the Kurma is Lord himself only, can carry the Bhu-mandala without any effort. One second. So, one second. I'll take your questions after the next verse only. Till then, don't ask any questions. Keep your questions in your mind only. So now, by the request of the great sages, such as Bhrigu, Vasishtha, Pulaha, Kratu, Lord Varaha assumed the form of Lord Kurma. And that Kurma was floating in the Garbhodaka ocean, keeping the Bhu-mandala on his back. It was happening. Everything was nicely happening. He was holding the entire Bhu-mandala during Swayambhu Manvantara. Then second, Swarajisha Manvantara. Third, Uttama. Fourth, Raivasa. Fifth, Samasa. Sixth, Chakshusha Manvantara. Somewhere in the middle of Chakshusha Manvantara, half the Manvantara period is already over. Other half is still there. So one day, the ruler of the Bhu-mandala, King Satyavrata, he went to the ocean to offer his morning oblations. He lifted the water. In the water, the small fish came. Just now we discussed about the small fish. And eventually that small fish, which requested the king's protection, became very huge. The king said, "You must be the Supreme Lord," after putting it into the ocean. Then the fish said, "Yes, I am the Supreme Lord only, appeared in the form of Matsya. 7 days from today, there will be a huge pralaya. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka will be completely destroyed by huge rains. And since it is a pralaya, Lord Kurma, who is holding the entire Bhu-mandala, will give up his service. And the Bhu-mandala will again submerge into Garbhodaka ocean. So Bhu-mandala is going to submerge into Garbhodaka ocean means you will also will submerge into Garbhodaka ocean. So in order to save you, I will send a boat. And you enter into that boat. I will come once again. And Vasuki, who is the resident, who is the king of Patala Loka, he will come up and use him to tie the boat with me, so that I will save you and some great sages and some of the important living entities and seeds, etc., along with Vasuki. As long as the pralaya continues, I'll save all of you. So that time again, during Chakshusha Manvantara, as it is predicted by Lord Matsya, 7 days later, there was a huge rain. As a result of that, the Bhu-mandala was submerging. First of all, it is flooded. Then it is about to submerge into Garbhodaka ocean. Then the boat came. King Satyavrata entered into that boat, and many of the great sages, Brahmanas, and other living entities, some of them also entered into that boat. Then Lord Matsya appeared. Vasuki came. Then they tied the boat to the Matsya with the help of that Vasuki, and Lord Matsya saved them. And then again Lord Varaha appeared as Neela Varaha. The first time, the one who is appearing now from Brahma's nostril is Shweta Varaha. The next time, the one who will appear is Neela Varaha. And he will again enter into the Garbhodaka ocean, and he will lift the entire Bhu-mandala down from the Garbhodaka ocean. While he was lifting, Hiranyaksha will come and say that, "Hey, kahan leke ja rahe? Boy, this belongs to us. This is our property. Where are you taking it? You are a thief. Either fight with me or you leave it and go away," something like that. Then Lord Vara had a nice fight with Hiranyaksha, and he killed Hiranyaksha. So while killing Hiranyaksha, it is said by Acharyas that he beats Hiranyaksha with his mace left and right. The mace is filled with blood of Hiranyaksha, and the blood was smearing all over the body of Lord Varaha. The blue Varaha, the Neela Varaha, blue colored Varaha, who smeared by the blood of Hiranyaksha, appeared red. Then he got the name Rakta Varaha. That pastime of lifting the Bhu-mandala once again happened in Chakshusha Manvantara, and that time he fought with Hiranyaksha and killed him. So like that, once in a while, by the will of the Supreme Lord, the Bhu-mandala will fall into Garbhodaka ocean, so that he will perform so many pastimes, taking that as a pretext or whatever we can say. So this is how we have to understand all these things. All these things are not clearly mentioned in this Bhagavatam in this place, but all these things I have compiled them in our book Bhagavata Pravichar. So the sequence of events, how it happened, when it happened, what is the reason between one event to other event, taking reference from either different parts of the Bhagavatam and different scriptures, so that we have proper understanding of the flow of events, how things are happening, etc., etc. So basically, it is the Lord Varaha. Now I identified the Bhu-mandala, which is at the down below the Garbhodaka ocean. He will lift it up. He will keep it on the surface of the Garbhodaka ocean. But the sages again say that, "My dear Lord, you are keeping it there. It will fall into Garbhodaka ocean once again. Please do something." Then Lord Varaha transformed into Kurma, and the Kurma was holding the entire Bhu-mandala. So like that. The earth, the Bhu-mandala, which is called the shelter of the Jivas, because all of us are living on the Bhu-mandala only, was resting there 250 million yojanas deep inside the Garbhodaka ocean, as previously during the daily destruction. Lord Varaha protected the earth, the Bhu-mandala, personally, since the boar is also known in the form of Vedas. So like that. So in that way, Lord Varaha protected our Bhu-mandala from that particular place. So like that. So we'll read through this verse. Afterwards, we'll take some questions. So whatever I have told, it is there in the notes of this verse. But anyway, we'll go through. Swadamstrayodhya dhrutamahim nimagnam
स्वदंस्त्रयोद्यमहिं निमग्नम्
Savottita sanduruche rasaya
स उद्दिता संरुरुचे रसाय
Tatrapi daityam gadaya patantam
तत्रापि दैत्यं गदया पतन्तम्
Punabasandipita tivra manyu
सुनादसन्देपिततीव्रमन्यु
Jaganarundanamasaya vikramam
जघानरुन्धा नमस्य विक्रमम्
Salilayebam Mrugaradi
सलीलयेकं मृगरादिवाम्भसि
तद्रक्तपङ्काङ्कितगन्धतुण्डो
तदरक्तपङ्काङ्कितगन्धपुण्डो
यथा गजेन्द्रो जगतीं विबिन्दम्
यथा गजेन्द्रो जगतीं विविन्दन्.
Yeah, please read the
Translation.
translation.
Lord Bor very easily took the earth on his tusks and got it out of the water. Thus he appeared very splendid. Then his anger glowing like the Sudarshan wheel, he immediately killed the demon Hiranyaksha, although he tried to fight with the Lord. Hare Krishna. And the next verse is the translation. Thereupon Lord Bor killed the demon within the water, just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish from digging in the purple earth.
Yeah, thank you. He appeared splendid as he raised up the sunken earth. So then, Lord Varaha, having found out the Bhu-mandala which is there at the base of the Garbhodaka ocean, he lifted it up. He was slowly rising from the water. So he was looking very beautiful as he rising up from the along with the earth from the water using his tusks. With intense anger, inflamed by his chakra in the water, he killed Hiranyaksha of intolerable strength, who was approaching with a club and wandering about to obstruct him. Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha just as a lion playfully kills an elephant. Lord Varaha appeared like Gajendra, who had a red trunk and cheeks when he dug up the reddish Bhu-mandala, reddish earth. So after killing Hiranyaksha, Lord Varaha assumed the form of reddish color, Rakta, as it is clearly mentioned. Tadrakta Pankankita Ganda Tundo. Tatrapi means in that great water of devastation. Api indicates astonishment. Daityam indicates Hiranyaksha. An alternative of this line is Hiranyaksham Jagana Adi Daityam. The first demon, the original demon or the first demon who came there to stop Lord Varaha, who was lifting the Bhu-mandala. And Lord had a good fight with him and killed him and became red. Hiranyaksha approached with his club. The Lord was illuminated with his chakra. The Lord's anger was inflamed. Even in my presence, he raises a club. So Lord was thinking that मेरे सामने एक ऐसे गधा उठाने की चेष्टा किया था. So Lord became angry and fought with him very violently. So that was indicated that. Vrundana means that Hiranyaksha was wandering about to obstruct Lord Varaha from lifting the Bhu-mandala. So there is a comparison of Lord Varaha when he kills the demon. Gajendra refers to the elephant situated in Trikuta mountain. He can kill lions and cherubas, leaving the red earth in play. The elephant cheeks and trunk turned reddish. So Lord is compared to Gajendra. So Gajendra living in Trikuta mountain area, and he was so powerful that he can fight with lions and cherubas, can kill them easily. And Hiranyaksha is like that cheraba. And Lord Varaha fought with him and killed him. So while doing so, his tusks, because he fought with Hiranyaksha and also he was protecting earth, he became reddish. So one understanding is that earth is reddish, so his tusk became reddish. But other understanding is that his tusk and his whole body was filled with the blood of Hiranyaksha, so he turned reddish. And he became known as Raktavaraha afterwards. So Amarakosha says that Jagati refers to the Vedic meter, one of the 7 Vedic meters, and also the earth, the Bhu-mandala. So this is about, so here one interesting thing is happening. So as I just mentioned, the Lord appeared 2 times. First time during Shvetavaraha Kalpa. In the Shvetavaraha Kalpa, first time during Swayambhu Manvantara period, second time during Shakshusha Manvantara period. And Maitreya is combining both the pastimes here. Because both the pastimes are about lifting the Bhu-mandala only. So he is combining both the pastimes and telling that he is by the request of Brahma and other great sages, he is lifting the Bhu-mandala, and he also killed Hiranyaksha. For a new person who does not know, you may think that okay, both are happening one time only. But Acharya has explained everything that the lifting the Bhu-mandala by the request of Brahma happened during Swayambhu Manvantara, and killing of Hiranyaksha happened during Shakshusha Manvantara. And that is explained in this pastime. I just mentioned the story, some details other will read through. In the Shvetavaraha Kalpa, which is the current day of Brahma, the first day in the first month of the 51st year of Brahma's life. Brahma already completed 50 years, currently 51st year is going on, that first month, first day is going on, it is known as Shvetavaraha Kalpa. Because in this Shvetavaraha Kalpa, Varaha Kalpa, in this Kalpa, the first appearance of the Lord is in the form of Varaha, and which is in white color. So that's why it is called Shvetavaraha Kalpa. At the beginning of Swayambhu Manvantara period, Shvetavaraha, white in color, appeared from the nostril of Brahma and lifted the Bhu-mandala. Then he disappeared. Again, in the Chakshusha Manvantara, when there was a sudden deluge, Neela Varaha, black in color, appeared in the water. Again lifted the earth, lifted the Bhu-mandala and killed Hiranyaksha. In the present section of the chapter 13, the great sage Maitreya comments both appearances in his narration. Since both Lord appeared 2 times, but Maitreya talking about both the past times together only, though they appeared at different times, different time frames. So these details you can understand clearly from Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So in that text number 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all these verses talks about this clarification, clarifying the subject matter. So here you can see the translation. Lord Varaha Avatara appeared twice. First in Swayambhu Manvantara from Brahma's nostril in order to lift the Bhu-mandala, and second time during Chakshusha Manvantara, appearing from the waters, Garbhodaka ocean. Second time, he directly appeared from Garbhodaka ocean only. He did not appear from Brahma's nostril. Lord Varaha with his tusks assumed the 4-legged animal form to kill Hiranyaksha and lift the Bhu-mandala. According to some authorities, however, this form is half man and half boar, just like Narasimha, Lord Narasimhadev, half man, half lion. Like that, some say Lord Varaha is half Varaha, half human. Sometimes the Varaha avatar is black like a cloud, and sometimes he is white like the moon. Kachit Jalada Shama Kadachit Chandra Pandra. Sometimes he will like white moon, sometimes he will be like Jalada Shama, the Nila Mega Shama, the blue monsoon cloud. The form of sacrifice is very strong endowed with those two colors. Yajnamurti Savishtoyam Varna Dvayayuta. So having these two colors, the Lord is very strong and in the form of Yajna. So then it is stated in scriptures that Hiranyaksha was born through Draksha, who was the son of the Prachetas during the region of Chakshushamanu. Thus, the appearance of Varaha Avatara during the region of Chakshushamanu is confirmed by the information about the birth of Daksha during at that time. Dakshat Prachetasas Stri Srishti Shruyate Chakshantare. So in Bhagavatam, at many places in other Vedic literatures also it clearly said that. Just I mentioned that as Lord Matsya predicted, there was a huge rain. As a result of that, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka was completely destroyed and they submerged into Garbhodaka ocean. And they were revived and they need to be filled with a different population. That time Brahma engaged Daksha Prajapati. My dear son, you do on my behalf. So then Daksha, he meditated and began to create living entities. Things were happening very slowly. Then he went to Vindhya mountains and performed austerities. Lord Vishnu appeared and he told, I want to serve you. Lord Vishnu told, okay, marry one girl, Marisha, or something like that. Through her, you beget progeny in fast pace, and so that the population will be there. So Daksha married Marisha, and first of all, he begot 10,000 sons, Haryashvas. Send them to Gurukul. Nardamuni sent them to one only, completely to one. Daksha became unhappy and then produced 1,000 Chaulashvas. Again sent them to Gurukul. Nardamuni again sent them to Vanvas. Daksha became angry and cursed Nardamuni. Then Brahma comes and tells Daksha, no, don't beget sons, beget daughters. So Daksha begot 60 daughters. Out of 60, 10 daughters were given in marriage to Dharma, 27 daughters were given in marriage to Soma, and 17 were given in marriage to Kashyapa. Out of 17 daughters, one daughter name was Diti. And Diti gave birth to Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. The two children were born during that time. So all these things happened in Chakshusha Manvantara. After the Pralaya, which was predicted by Lord Matsya, after the Pralaya was over, then things were reviving. Then during that time, all these things were Daksha was begetting 10,000 Haryashvas, 1,000 Shavalashvas, then 60 daughters. They were married to Kashyapa and other great sages. Then Kashyapa begot two children through Diti, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. As soon as they were born, Hiranyaksha went on Vijay Yatra. He defeated Indra, he defeated Chandra here, there, etc. etc. Then he came to Varuna. And Varuna said that I am old man. Please go and fight with Lord Narayana, who is appearing on the Garbhodaka ocean. So hearing from Varuna that Lord Vishnu appeared just now, go and fight with him. So he was trying to find out where Narayana is there. He saw Nardamuni. He asked Nardamuni, where I can find him? I want to fight. So Nardamuni told him to go to Garbhodaka ocean. Because at that time Lord Varaha appeared and he was lifting the Bhu-mandala. And Hiranyaksha came there. And at that time Lord Varaha just came out of the water. And there was a big fight between them. So all these details about Daksha, things will come in 6th canto. About the fight between Varaha and Hiranyaksha will come in the upcoming chapter, chapter 17 onwards. We'll see those things. So, but in any case, here it is said, Daksha was the son of Prachetas in the lineage of Uttanapada. So Daksha appeared the son of Prachetas, who were born as the great grandchildren of Dhruva Maharaj and Uttanapada and Swayambhu. Swayambhu's son is Uttanapada. Uttanapada's son is Dhruva. Dhruva's 2-3 generations later, their son is Vena, Anga, Vena, Prutu, and Prutu's grandson was Prachinabarhi. Prachinabari's sons were Prachetas. Pracheta's son is Daksha. So Daksha had 60 daughters. One daughter was Diti, and Diti gave in marriage to Kashyapa, and Kashyapa and Diti begot Hiranyaksha. So in that way. So at the beginning of the current Kalpa Brahma, during Swayambhu Manu had produced no sons. Because as of now, according to this chapter, Swayambhu Manu and Saturpa just appeared and they are praying to Lord Brahma. Please give us some service. Brahma said, go and rule the Bhu-mandala and get married and beget children. So Swayambhu Manu says, Bhu-mandala is in the water. So Lord Varaha appeared and lifting the Bhu-mandala. So now Swayambhu Manu is not yet married. He did not have any children, and there was no Daksha. There was no Hiranyaksha was born, etc. Nothing is there. So even Daksha was also there. Daksha was there, but Daksha was not even married and not even got children. So there was no Hiranyaksha. So the Hiranyaksha's past time happened in Chakshusha Manvantara. In order to tell that these two happened in different places, Acharyas are giving all these details. Thus, Maitreya, being asked by Vidura, narrated the activities of both appearance of Lord Varaha in one story. It is mentioned in the Matsya Purana that there was a pralaya during Swayambhuva's period because of a curse of a sage upon Swayambhu Manu. It is mentioned in the Vishnu Dharmottara that by the will of the Lord there was a sudden deluge during the region of Chakshusha Manu. So by the Lord's will only the pralaya appeared during Chakshusha Manvantara. And this time, why the Bhu-mandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean? Some say Swayambhu Manu had a curse as a result of that Bhu-mandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean. But others say that Brahma was busy in creating all the living entities, though he divided the lotus into 14 divisions, but did not keep any support below the Bhu-mandala. Because there was no support, the Bhu-mandala entered into Garbhodaka ocean. So these are various reasons in the background to understand what's happening and how it is happening. So it is like that. Yeah, some devotees are asking some questions. What is that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, first of all, thank you for giving such a detailed analogy of the happenings in the Bhagavatam. Prabhu, in one of the slides, it's mentioned that in the Vishnu Dharmatra, it states that when Lord Vara lifted the Bhu-mandala, he drove away the happiness of the kings of the Patan. Correct? How, Prabhu? I mean, they also must have been distressed, na? When the Bhu-mandala is submerged.
And no, it is not like that. See, later on in the fifth canto, we'll understand that. Even before also we mentioned, we discussed. The lower planetary systems are the abodes of Asuras. So the 7 lower planetary systems primarily belongs to Asuras. Now it is Lord Varaha lifting it up. Then whom it belongs to? Lord Varaha lifting the Bhu-mandala, which also consists of 7 lower planetary systems. Now whom they belong to? Whom the 7 lokas belong to?
Now it belongs to Lord Varaha.
That's why the rulers of the Patala lokas will feel unhappy. ये हमारा जगह है ये छीन के लेके गया ऐसा. So they are feeling sad. Like that we can understand.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Any other devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, it is seen that Varaha lifts the earth, which is in round shape. And so you tell about all these things, how it is like, Prabhuji, I cannot understand it. The whole thing, the flat
So what do you
or...
mean by round shape? First of all, what do you mean by round shape?
So actually, whenever we have seen photos of Vara, he lifts the round shape earth.
Not round, globe.
Globe,
Round
yeah.
does not give you complete meaning. Round means circle. You should say globe.
Yeah.
Spherical
So is
type
it
of the
that
earth
globe? Is it the globe has the full 7 planetary system?
No. It is not the globe. That's why I was telling from the beginning. It is the Bhu-mandala, which was like the lotus leaf. If you remember our previous chapters, chapter 10, and even starting from chapter 5 onwards, not 5, chapter 10 only. Chapter 8 and chapter 10, I showed many pictures of the entire lotus coming out of the navel of Garbhodaka Vishnu. The lotus has 3 components: lotus flower, lotus stem, and lotus leaf.
Yeah.
The leaf is Bhu-mandala. If you remember, if you have gone to any South Indian temple, there is a Pushkarani. In every South Indian temple, there is a Pushkarani, a lake, within which we have so many lotus plants. And every lotus plant will have a leaf, stem, and flower.
So
That entire leaf fell into Garbhodaka ocean.
So if we imagine a lotus, it has the lotus petals, then the stem and the leaves. So you mean that all the 7 planetary system are the leaves, and what is the stem then, and what is what are the lotus petals?
See, so maybe in another 5-10 minutes we'll be closing the class. You open 10th chapter slides.
Yeah.
First 10 slides. So in that, there in the beginning and in the end of the chapter also I showed some pictures where all these lokas are situated, how the divisions are made by Brahma. From the
Okay.
flower he makes 4 lokas, from the stem he makes Bhur-loka, Swarga-loka. The upper surface of the leaf is Bhu-loka, and within the leaf there are 7 cavities. The 7 cavities are the 7 lower planetary systems, Adala, Vitala, Sutala, etc.
Okay.
So you can see that picture by opening 10th chapter slides afterwards.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, yes.
Okay, any other devotees have any other question? So next. Tamala-neelam situdanta-kotya
Amala-neelam sitadanta-kotya
Shyamam mukshipantam gajalilayanga
Shamam Ukshipantam Gaja-lilayanga
Prajnaya baddhanjalayo
Pragyaya Baddhan Najalayo Nuvakair
virinchi mukya upatashturisham.
Virinchumukya Upatashturisham. Translation. Then the Lord, playing like an elephant, suspended the earth on the edge of his curved white tusks. He assumed a bluish complexion like that of a tamal tree, and thus the sages, headed by Brahma, could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offered respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Understanding that the boar of black color, Tamala Neelam, who raised the earth on the tips of his white tusk while playing like an elephant, was the Supreme Lord. Brahma and others praised him with prayers while folding their hands. So all these great sages who were offering prayers in the beginning, since the time Lord appeared, and now Lord came out of the water, lifting the entire Bhu-mandala on his tusk. Then they began to offer prayers. So they praised him with prayers similar to those prayers which are offered till now. So now the prayers, so which were offered before, which are offered now, both are similar prayers. Those prayers are listed in the Bhagavatam now. Text number 34 to 45, about 10-12 verses are about the prayers offered by these great sages who are living in the Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, and Maharloka, all the great sages, the great sons of Brahma, whoever appeared till now, they are all offering prayers unto Lord Varaha. So it is like that. So in the next class, the next week, we will see all these prayers. So thank you very much. We will stop here for today. Any questions from any other devotees? Hare Krishna. Any further questions?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. So no questions.